thank you all for inviting us to speak here. All my friends know that I love talking about CAA and all the animals at the shelter. So, our mission is essentially three-pronged. We work to keep pets in their homes, to make sure the shelter dogs and cats are healthy and happy while they're at the shelter, and to help find them all permanent homes. We are seeing an increase in the number of cats and dogs coming into the shelter. I'm sure that's not a surprise to everybody. The county is growing, and people are having more problems being able to afford their pets. So I'm going to focus on two of our programs that address those issues, our spay-neuter certificate program for the public and our in-house vet tech and veterinarians program. First, how many of you know that Clatsop Animal Assistance is a separate entity from the animal shelter? Some, but not all. And it can be confusing. We are the nonprofit partner with the county at the shelter. And a volunteer at the shelter has to also be a CAA member in order to take an animal off-site. So, to take an animal to a vet appointment, to go take an animal on an outing, or to an adoption event, or to foster at home, they have to be a CAA member. We were started in 1999 as the nonprofit so that people could donate directly through us to the shelter rather than to the county general fund, in which case the shelter would only get a portion of the money. We were key in helping the shelter reach no-kill status. It's an industry term, and it means that more than 90% of the animals go out of the shelter alive. Now, it's been no-kill for quite a while, but because of our financial support, we were very, very instrumental in that. Right now, the only animals that are euthanized are those that are too dangerous to be adopted out, or are too sick or injured for us to really save. So, at the shelter, the county pays for the facilities, employees, part-time kennel workers, and some food, the food for the animals. CAA covers all of the external veterinary care. Every time an animal goes to the vet, we're paying all of that. And we get very generous discounts from the participating vets, but even so, last year, our costs were over $75,000, and that was $10,000 more than the year before. It's going up. We also cover a portion of the spay-neuter costs because all of the animals are spayed or neutered before going out, and again, those costs have been going up every year for the past several years. The shelter is at capacity, and so our foster parents are very busy. We are expanding our foster program, and I would love to talk to people about that afterwards. This year, we've had almost 50 kitten litters come into the shelter. Unbelievable. And 30 of those were kittens that were so young they had to be fostered out. So we have kittens all over the county until they're large enough to come back in and come back into the shelter to be adopted. So fostering not only opens up space, but we're also seeing that animals are adopted more quickly when they've been fostered. We promote animals through our monthly posters. I have a couple here if anybody wants to take one and show it around. They're all over the county, and I hope that people have seen them. We keep busy with our daily posts on Instagram and Facebook, and we have frequent adoption events. We had 3 last weekend. We're having 1 coming up on Saturday. So on to the programs I mentioned. We're seeing more and more pet owners who are having trouble keeping pace with the rising costs, just in general, thank you. And with the vet costs. So we partner with the Seaside Spay-Neuter Thrift Shop. Is everybody familiar with that? And we hand out their spay-neuter coupons at the shelter. So people can come in anytime the shelter is open and apply for a coupon through us. We also match the funds so that they're now getting double value on their coupons, again, because the vet costs are going up. Word is spreading, and we're getting more and more every week. We're up to sometimes 10 people coming in a week, so it's good, and we feel that we're really helping the county that way. My second focus is our on-site vet tech program. I'll be quick about this. CAA employs 2 vet techs who come into the shelter once a week, and what they do is they can test animals as they come in, just take care of minor problems, and also assess any problems just when they're starting, before, you know, before they get really bad. There are 2 things that happen with this. One, we don't have to make as many vet clinic appointments, which can take a couple of weeks sometimes, and of course the vet techs can take care of problems before they get too bad. We recently expanded that program by adding 2 veterinarians who each come in once a month, and they work with the vet techs. They can do a little bit more, including rabies vaccinations and minor surgeries. So through these 2 programs, we encourage the public to spay and neuter their pets, help them to afford care, and make sure the shelter animals have the best and fastest care possible to give them the best chances of getting adopted. We're a dedicated, committed group, and we are grateful for all the ongoing support of this community, for our fabulous furry friends and their people. So thank you very much. And I have to say, oh, okay, I can't say.
You can.
Okay. The most wonderful thing is seeing the animals go out of the shelter through the front door with their new people, and we attack people all over town. Oh, is that so and so? You know, yeah, and yes, and it's all fine. But and also, if anybody wants to volunteer, please come see me, because we're always looking for volunteers. There.
You have 2 minutes of questions.
Okay. Any questions? There.
Could you explain a little bit more how you keep pets in their homes? How to keep them in their homes?
By 2 ways. One, by if we're giving them the spay-neuter certificates, they can afford to do that, because sometimes animals will come in and they'll say, we just can't afford to spay and neuter them. The second thing is we do provide some emergency pet care. So if somebody's having a problem, they can apply to CAA, and then through the vet offices, we will take care of that, or at least help them with it. And we do some counseling too. So, but that's the main thing. Yes?
If you're awarded the money, what will you use it for?
We would use it for the 2 programs that I was talking about. Both we do need more and more time from the vet techs and from the veterinarians, and our spay neuter program is increasing, more and more people, so that's what we would use it for.
Just out of curiosity, as far as like you're trying to keep the pets at home, do you all offer coupons to like dog training, so that if that's one of the issues that they're having?
We don't offer coupons for that, but that's a good idea. We're always looking for new ways to do that, because obviously it's good for the shelter, but it's also good for the families. Yeah. So.
What about food for people who can't afford to feed their pets?
We provide some of that, and what happens, we get a lot of donated food, and if it's not, the shelter uses a specific brand of food, so if it's something different from that, we're right next to the food bank, so we take it over there and we tell people that's where to go to get the food, and we get quite a lot, and again, we love those kinds of donations. So, there. Okay, thank you.